Gentlemen, for all you guys out there who are practicing semen retention, who are trying to succeed on this path of sexual transmutation, listen up, bro, because this is one of the most important videos about this topic that you're ever gonna hear. Because today, we're gonna be talking about semen retention and how it affects your ego and how it can make you a goddamn weirdo. So let's talk about it. Now, obviously, you know, when you're practicing semen retention, when you're retaining your life force, when you're retaining that masculine energy, that solar energy coming from the sun, shining on my face, it's gonna amplify your masculine drive. It's gonna amplify your masculine traits. It's gonna amplify your overall masculinity as a whole. So when that happens, you're more prone to your ego blowing the fuck up. Because if you don't use proper techniques, proper tips, proper disciplines, along with semen retention, like I've mentioned on my full guide, as well as a free ebook, make sure you go run it up if you haven't already. Just go on the main channel, just type in how to succeed on semen retention, Fulati Fitness. It's gonna show up. That's the full guide. In there, you'll get the free ebook. As well as that, there's a whole audio series on the main channel if you just want to tap into the audio series, talking about all the essential practices, disciplines, and all that you need to ingrain into this practice to actually make it plausible and actually make it proficient enough where you don't get stuck in what we're going to be talking about today, of how it can make you a fucking weirdo and make you really egotistical. Because if you've probably seen, not on my channel because I don't really get into all those things, but on other people's channels who talk about semen retention, you can sense it off the way they speak on this practice. It isn't a way for men to elevate the levels of consciousness, to become a divine vessel for God, to work throughout His purpose through your mind, body, and soul, but rather it's a way to just get benefits, get female attraction, get manifestation abilities, get energy. The benefits are great, but your whole goal on this journey is not to just get the benefits. Your whole goal on this journey is not even the semen retention journey. Let me say that again. Your whole goal on this journey should not be about semen retention. It might not make sense, but let me break it down. Semen retention in itself is a microcosm of the big macrocosm of your life's journey. So it's just a path, a practice, a discipline to help you raise up your energy levels, raise up your vibration, raise up your conscious capabilities, and just overall put you in a better state to actually not only figure out your purpose, but also pursue it to the fullest extent. And that purpose is encompassing your mind, body, and soul. And it's not all about you. It's about shining out your gifts to the world that can help the world grow, that can help the consciousness of other people elevate. That's what your main purpose is about. It's not getting $1 million. It's not getting a bunch of girlfriends. It's not getting jacked and just stuff like that. Those things are, yes, mini rewards along the way. I'm not saying don't go for those materialistic things because they are a part of this physical plane that we play on, but that shouldn't be the main goal. I'm gonna practice semen retention and it's gonna make me a millionaire. I'm gonna practice semen retention and it's gonna make me attract all these women. I'm gonna practice semen retention and it's gonna make me do this. That is not the goal. That should never be the goal, and you've heard me talk about on this channel plenty of times. For you guys out there who have booked consultations with me, who have booked one-on-one coaching packages with me, you already know that's one of the main things I talk about with you guys. And if you do want to do that, both links are going to be included to the pinned comment of this video. Join up, whether it's a Discord server, become a Patreon member, because I'm spilling out a bunch of sauce like this, man. Consultations, coaching, all that shit, man. Everything's going to be in the pinned comment of this video. But back to what I was saying, the ego will drive you crazy on this practice if you don't have those disciplines implemented along the way. And things like meditation, breath work, spiritual practices, having a physical pursuit to put it towards, having your diet in check, having your sleep in check, your sunlight exposure in check, all these things, if you don't have them right, the ego will pump up like crazy, and the energy can either get stuck in your lower centers and the urges are gonna get fucking crazy, or you can rise it up to where it can get stuck in the solar plexus area, which is correlated to willpower, ego, stuff like that. Willpower is a positive side of it, and the ego is the negative side of it. If you want to think about that, you can feel very tight and stuck here on the physical side, but in a more of a philosophical, mental, and spiritual side, your ego will get crazy. It will think that you're the center of the universe. Everybody else who's not doing semen retention is a loser. You're the best person out there. All these girls are looking at me because I'm on semen retention. I'm gonna become a millionaire because I'm on semen retention. That shit's making you a weirdo, bro. And I've noticed a lot, whether that's, like I said, through the one-on-one consultations, through coaching packages, through even things like people are discussing in my Discord server. Shout out to fucking Discord server. If you haven't joined up yet, man, that is fraudulent fucking behavior. Join the fuck up, bro. I've noticed how this ideal, and I try helping people along the way to kind of point it out, maybe because I'm a little bit further on this journey than some of you guys, which that in turn can show you how, even though I'm a little bit further on this journey, I know that this ego shit can happen to me, and I'm trying to give y'all the game and the wisdom so you don't have to go through that, and your journey is even smoother. So I try to tell these guys, hey man, like, just because someone doesn't retain doesn't make him a bad person. Just because someone's energy levels are low doesn't make him a loser or something like that. Yes, they can be in a potential loser state of mind, loser state of being, but you were too. I was as well. And god damn it, bro, this fucking helicopter. The feds is after me. Alright, let's pass it by. I was in that loser state, you were in that loser state, and you got this type of information, you got on this practice, and it helped you get out of it, but you're just as susceptible to fall back right into those bad habits, destructive habits that are draining you. Because I've talked about before on this channel, when you practice semen retention, doesn't matter how long you were doing all these bad habits, essentially what you're going from is like -2, -3, -4, -5, back to 0, back to baseline. That's when, if you go further along in this practice, you really get some of the benefits. But in totality, you're going from below average to back to normal. And some people might think like, hey man, like, what are all these benefits? And it makes it seem like you get superpowers. Well, in reality, being a human is supernatural. Being a human is tapping into superhero capabilities. You might not think that, oh, like the average person has super capabilities, when in reality, the average person you think is average, in another perspective, is simply below average. Everybody's running on a standard that's way lower than normal. Your normal is essentially high standards in the modern world we live in today. Your normal capabilities are high level standards in the modern world we live in today. So when you practice semen retention, you just get back to normal. You don't become a god. You don't become Superman or anything like that. Yes, you can get even more benefits that might make it seem like you're almost on a different level, but that's going to come with other practices as well. It's not going to just come from semen retention. So just getting to normal and baseline is something that everybody is capable of. So why put anyone down? Why make yourself think that you're above everyone when in reality you were playing at negative levels and everybody else are on those negative levels? Now you go back to normal. Doesn't make you better than them. That means they are struggling at negative. Why would you subconsciously or consciously put yourself above them? Your ego is taking over control because the masculine energy is not being cultivated properly. It's getting too much, it's getting repressed, it's getting, essentially, it's burning you up. It's getting stuck in your head to the point where you think, I'm better than everyone, I'm on semen retention, I'm gonna do all these things because of semen retention. First of all, I want to say that semen retention, like I said before, is a catalyst for growth. it gives you the focus, it gives you the mental capabilities, it raises your level of consciousness, it gives you energy. But at the end of the day, you need to put the work in. Stop giving all the credit to semen retention. Stop giving all the rewards that you get in life to semen retention. This is just a catalyst for your growth. It's not gonna do the work for you. But like I said, going from negative to normal is gonna make a drastic difference that you might think that this practice and just retaining your life force is doing everything in your progress to higher levels of your self-improvement, self-development, and self-mastery. You think that, but in reality, I'm telling you right now, someone that's almost 4 years on this journey is just giving you the energy, the mental bandwidth, the spiritual connection. Is giving all you these great things that were already there before you're draining yourself. You're returning back into your natural state of being as a man. So when you get back to that natural state of being, it's you and your actions and the godly will of the universe working through you to get you to the points that you want to go to. This is just giving you, it's a tool. Stop making it the end all be all, because your ego will get crazy. And what's bad about this thing too, if you somehow relapse along the way, your ego is going to be in shambles, and you're so attached to that ego because it's become so big that you're going to think of yourself as a low life piece of shit, like you were looking at other people who were watching porn, just chasing women all the time. Like, you're gonna look at yourself like that. When you were looking down at them, you're gonna look at yourself at the same way. You're gonna be like, I'm a loser, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing that wrong because I spilled my seed. Yes, you don't want to do that on this practice. You don't want to release your seed for no fucking reason. You don't. But if it does happen, like I said in the ebook and on the video guide, it doesn't define your overall progress on this journey. It doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you a winner. Obviously, the whole point of semen retention is to retain your seed, transcend lust, and put your energy, your life force energy, towards your higher purpose and goals. So if that happens, does it make you lose all your benefits, this stuff and that? Maybe it might knock your energy off or this and that for the time being. And it's gonna take you some time to get back on track. But at the end of the day, you're in this for the long haul, I'm guessing, right? One little minor relapse doesn't make you a loser, and someone else is struggling on the path doesn't make them loser and shit like that. So like, when I hear people say like, oh man, I can just look in someone's eyes and tell if they're practicing retention, like they just look like a loser, man. Like, first of all, shut the fuck up. Second of all, I could say the same thing to you as someone who's further along this path, and somebody further along me can say the same thing to me. So what the fuck is the point of this dick swinging contest when it comes to stuff like semen retention? You're learning how to transcend lust and use your masculine energy for divine purposes rather than low life animalistic things where it's just all about me, the ego, me. That's not what this is about. You're raising your level of consciousness. Why are you dragging it back down manually by thinking that you're this and that? By thinking that just because I got semen retention, that girl wants to fuck me, this girl wants to fuck me, all my exes are gonna come back to me. Like, this is the shit that I see, that I hear, that I see sometimes pop up on my YouTube feed, and like, I'm just like, bruh, like, there's not many people out there. I'm not trying to make myself like the fucking poster child of this, but I'm saying like, somebody needs to say it, and I will say it. Like, this is not what these ancient like yogis, sages, spiritual leaders, greatest thinkers of time, like Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, like, these people knew about this practice, but this is not the shit that they were trying to promote and trying to breed into people when it comes to the art of cultivating your sexual energy and transcending it and transmuting it towards higher purposes. That's not what this is about. So you got to go back to the roots, go back to what you're doing this journey for. And if your goal in the beginning, like I've mentioned so much on the guide and on the ebook, on the consultation calls, on my coaching packages, on the Patreon, like, that goal needs to be something bigger than you. If it's not, the ego is just gonna take over control. And yogic and Vedic terms, this is called selfless service. You're doing things for the betterment, not only of yourself, because the only way you're gonna help other people is first to elevate yourself. You can't help other people if you're not in the right position to do it. If you're poor, how are you gonna help other people get rich? If you're unhealthy, how are you gonna people get healthy? If you're in a state of depression, anxiety, blah, 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 how are you gonna help people get out of it? Fix yourself first, and through that knowledge, you can help fix other people. And it doesn't have to be through YouTube. It doesn't have to be through content creation. It could be whatever. You could be a doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be a caregiver, you could be a author, you could be a something, whatever it is, creating. This is sexual energy, is creative energy. This life force energy is meant to create. It's now you're creating not only a better life for yourself, but also creating through that capability and the divine essence flowing through you, better opportunities for other people, better ways of life, philosophies of life, and just overall paths that's not being so promoted in society for other people. Like, that's what you should be focusing on this journey. If it's just materialistic stuff, not only are you not going to make it far along in this practice, but you're also going to run into your ego, pump you the fuck up, and making you think like you're fucking God. It's going to make you think that you're running the world, you're running this shit, that you are the ultimate big bad, biggest, baddest boss out there. You're the top G. And that is why a lot of this alpha pill, red pill, nonsensical stuff is still implemented and sprinkled in to semen retention, stuff like that. While semen retention is about not quote unquote self-improvement, but it's about self-mastery. It's about more spiritual path than it is a materialistic, physical, or mental path. Even though you do get those benefits on the mental and physical planes, you're using that to not only evolve yourself mentally and physically, but in turn evolve spiritually. Because like I've said before on this channel, what is the motto of my brand, Lighty Fitness, having a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit soul. I'm recording this on a tripod. It's got 3 legs, and in same reality, you got 3 aspects to your nature: your mind, your body, and your soul. When one is out of balance, the tripod is not going to be in alignment. If you're just focusing on the mental and physical planes of this path to get stuff for me, the ego is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, but also the spirit, which is the, how would I say it, kind of the, not the extinguisher of the ego, but it's the balancer of the ego. If you're just the super mental and physical, the ego is going to raise up, the balance is going to raise up. But if you're too spiritual, the ego is going to go down, and you're not going to have a drive or will or motivation or anything to do anything. So you got to have the nice balance between the two, and the mind is the mediator between them that keeps this balance flowing. So whatever you put your mind to will manifest out first from the spiritual, then out into the physical, and it's going to feed back in over and over again. So where are you directing your mind when it comes to this journey? Is it just about me, or is it about a bigger picture? Because I want to tell you right now, you're not that important. You are impermanent on this grand scale of life, and you're not going to be here forever. All your materialistic possessions are not going to be here forever. All your girlfriends are not going to be here forever. All your cars are not going to be here forever. All these things are temporary. What lasts, what stays forever, is the impact you leave on this world. And that impact is only felt through other people's soul. Yes, you can impact people mentally and physically, but what lasts in people's memories, in their subconscious, in their overall feeling, their beingness, is the impact you left. Whether that's through inspiration, whether that's through information, whether that's through enlightenment, whether that's through education, whatever it is that you give to people, that lasts, that goes on, and it just keeps on giving. It's a gift that keeps on giving. That is what you should be focusing your mind on when it comes to this path. Don't make it so much about, oh, I'm doing this because female attraction, because some YouTuber on about semen retention told me I'll get women. First of all, not only are you going to be living in a state of confirmation bias where whatever you focus on, like I said before, will manifest outwardly towards you, but your mind also warps your perception of that. You might be thinking, oh man, I'm getting all this fucking female attraction, yes sir. But in reality, you're just looking at a girl, she looked back at you, and now you think she wants to fuck. This is why it's so important. This is why this video is so important, that you get into your mind, that you actually digest the information I'm giving you, because the ego is quick to snap and quick to take control, especially when you're doing a practice where your masculine drive, which is it's not the ego, but it is, it influences the ego. The more masculine drive you have, the more ego you have, if you don't balance it. I'm not telling you to become quote unquote feminine, become soft, but that feminine aspect of you makes you more quote unquote less egotistical and more universal. It's not about me, because feminine aspect, let's talk about your mother. Your mother gave birth to you. She wasn't, like, even subconsciously, everything she was doing was not about just her during those 9 months. Like, that is the feminine nurturing nature to you that you still have in as a man. You're not gonna ever have more than it, than your masculine as a man. I don't care if you think you're a soy boy, your testosterone's low, yeah, you can fix that shit, but you're always gonna be more masculine. But you need that balancing piece to it. Whether that's 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, whatever it is, bro. You're not gonna be 50-50. I'm letting you know right now, because you got a dick and balls, but you gotta have that balance, bro. That balance. And I'm not just saying the female aspect of it will manifest in being emotional, stuff like that, but it's gonna be more subconsciously in the way you approach life. You're not making yourself the center of the universe. You're making yourself a divine vessel for God to work through you, work out your purpose, and whatever comes along your way will come along your way. And if you do that, I promise you, the universe will reward you with everything that you need. And what you need is 9 times out of 10 better than what you want. Let me say that again. What you need is 9 times out of 10 better than what you want. The universe and God, or whatever you believe in, knows better than you do. It knows what you need on your path and what's gonna help you to become the ultimate version of yourself. Stop trying to take control. Stop letting your ego think that you're the center of the universe, that whatever you want, you get. Like, yes, have goals, have systems, drive towards something. But if it's just off a materialistic, egotistical point of view, you're gonna be led down a state of where you're not, you could succeed, you could quote unquote succeed with that, but you're not gonna feel fulfilled, if that makes sense. Especially if you're someone that's watching this channel, that's watching my main channel, you're into deeper topics, spiritual topics. Like, you know that your soul needs to be fulfilled to actually feel a holistic sense of wellness, a holistic sense of being complete, being whole, being holy. That's what the word entails. Holy, being whole. If it's just 1 out of 3 that's being met, or 2 out of 3, you're not going to be 100%. You're not going to be 100% present in life, and you're not going to be 100% satisfied with life, and you're not going to be 100% in tune with life. So, what are some ways that you can quote unquote suppress the ego, or make it not go crazy when you're on this path and make you a weirdo? Well, first of all, watching this video will help, because now you're aware of it. Awareness is step 1. Step 2, what you should do is catch yourself in those moments when you think you're quote unquote better than somebody, and you're making semen retention your whole personality. You're making it your whole persona. You're making it the end all be all and the main goal of your life, and what you wear around your fucking neck like a goddamn chain, like a rapper. You're making that the trophy, the prize. How many days I got on semen retention? And I do believe that this whole idea of don't count the days, make the days count, has a little bit of truth to it. But if you've heard me talk about on this channel, I think a lot of that, when people use that term, use that quote, is coping. It's the fact that you can't get past 30 days. You've plateaued. 60 days, 90 days, 10 days, whatever it is. You've plateaued. But for the people that have done long-term streaks, you'll understand. You can comment down below. The longer you go on this streak, the more quote-unquote benefits that come along the way. The more experience you have along the way, the more you realize how profound this practice really is, not on the materialistic plane. For the people out there in the beginning, they just want to get the materialistic tangible benefits of energy, focus, female attraction, all this stuff, magnetic presence, your aura, blah, 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 all these things that pump up your ego, when in reality, you're gonna get a little bit of that. But for the men who transcend beyond just, I'm trying to get these benefits, and do it longer, and understand that the more they do this practice, the more the level of consciousness raises, and the more they can connect to their spiritual side, their divine side that guides them towards the right path in life, the more those benefits that you want in the beginning become apparent to you, when in reality you don't even want them at that point. Like the aura, the magnetism, the longer you go, the longer you don't give a fuck about them, the more it happens, because the universe sees that you are devoted to this practice, that you're devoted to becoming a divine vessel for it. Like, I'll talk about this more on another video on this channel, but I did drop a video on Patreon talking about becoming a divine vessel for God. And I broke it down even more and more how this practice really is that simple. Becoming a divine vessel for God, amplifying your mental, physical, and spiritual capabilities to become the best version of yourself, and pursue that dharmic duty or purpose that you were meant to do, that you were brought here to do, to get you out of the cycle of samsara, the cycle of reincarnation. But let's not get too deep on that. If you want to hop on the Patreon, yes, I got you, motherfucker, I got you. But that all those things that you want, the magnetism, the aura, the blah, 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 the attraction, comes when you let go of attaching yourself to semen retention, attaching yourself to getting these benefits, attaching yourself to gaining, me. I want this, I want that. I'm going 60 days so I can get this, the female attraction. I'm going to go 90 days so I can get my aura. I'm going to go this. Like, dude, those things come for the men who are devoted to this practice, and they don't even notice when it comes. It just happens to them. They're focused on their purpose, on their goals. They're using the tool they're using this practice as a tool to do that. That's the second step that you need to realize after awareness. And the third one, I would say, the second one, my bad, is the awareness and catching yourself in those positions that, oh man, like, I'm 60 days in, where's my aura? Where's my magnetism? Like, dude, catch yourself in that moment and be like, bro, I'm not that important. Semen retention is not the end all be all of my life. I gotta focus on my purpose and just keep pursuing that and flow through life effortlessly. Flow through life without attaching myself to things. That's why I talked about the law of detachment on this channel and on the Patreon and on the main channel. Go watch one of those, man. That attaching yourself to outcomes and stuff like that further pushes you away from the outcome, because you've made your identity and personality that. If I don't have that, I'm a loser. If I don't have this, I'm a loser. Like, when in reality, you're just going down the path, and each tile should light up as you take a step. You're getting guided, bro. Just do the work that needs to be done. Use this practice as a tool it is, and the things will happen as they were supposed to happen. It's God's plan. Shout out to Drake. Fuck Drake. Trash ass fucking rapper. But come on, man. These fucking helicopters. The last third step I want to talk about before we hop up out of here is a very important one. And that is, hold up, let me let these fuckers pass. Being careful of what you put into your mind, whether that's watching, whether that's hearing, whether that's reading. Be careful what you're programming yourself with, because content, society, the people around, your environment, all these things are subconsciously programming your mind. You want to do it, you're going to get programmed regardless, but you want to be, first of all, the one putting the things into your programming, and you want to choose it. You want to choose it wisely, because the quote-unquote NPC is simply just someone who's getting their subconscious programmed by society. You want to elevate above that, and in turn subconsciously program your own self through the proper content, through the proper books, through the proper podcasts, through the proper whatever it is that's going to help you on this path. And you don't want to do too much of that. You want to listen to the inner guru, the inner silence, the inner voice that's the divine talking to you through your spiritual senses, that are going to help you more than I can, more than my books can, more than other people's books can, more than a podcast can, than you can even think of. You want to listen to that more, but still, you're living on this plane, you're going to watch some content, you're going to read some books, you want to put in the right things. If you're listening to the people talking about, oh man, my fucking aura was so crazy, bro. These girls want to smash, man, bro. I'm on semen retention 30 days, bro. You're gonna not only lower yourself in level of consciousness to a state of lust, where you're gonna be thinking about that, and that confirmation bias is gonna come in, and that confirmation bias is gonna further confirm the ego, but you're also gonna be led astray on this path. Be careful of what the fuck you listen to. Be careful of what you put up in here. Like I said before, wherever this is directed to, and 90% of the time it's through the subconscious. It's running through subconscious. The GPS is the subconscious. Whatever you direct that to, your body's gonna go towards. You want to manually make it the right path, the right way. So please be careful of what you listen to, who you listen to, how you listen to it, and what is being said. What is the message? What is the underlying message? Not just the words they say, but the energy behind it, the actual plot behind it, the actual motive behind it. Is it just materialistic and egotistical that's just gonna further pump me up, or is it gonna quote unquote humble me and put me in a state of becoming more in tune with myself and not being so like me, and looking more broadly, having a panoramic view, having a 360 view, rather than tunnel focus on that certain thing that's gonna, it might help you in life for a certain state of being, but it's just temporary, it's an impermanent. You're going this for a long path, hopefully, and you're using it as a tool to help elevate your life in all aspects, not just one or two. That's what I hope, and that's what I preach, and that's what I talk about on the guide, on the ebook and everything like that. So make sure you go run it up if you haven't already. But essentially, bro, that's what I'm just gonna say is it will happen to you. You will become a weirdo. You will make semen retention your personality if you're always counting the days like crazy. Yes, you want to have a idea of where you're at on the path, because the longer you go, like I said, the more of these benefits, more of these things become granted to you if you remain detached from them. But you don't want to be the person that's, I'm on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm better than this guy. He's only on 30 days. I'm like, dude, you don't want to be like that, bro. You don't want to be a crash out fucking crackhead when it comes to this path, because your masculine drive will incline you towards that. That's why you need to do these practices to still the mind, still the ego, detach from the ego, become the observer of the observer, and actually put yourself in a position where you're not so pulled by the ego. Because you might not, I'm saying the masculine drive is what is pumping up the ego, but when you become quote unquote too masculine, that's when you actually become more quote unquote feminine. You become more emotional. You're listening to the ego. You're not being logical and rational like a man really should. You're listening to the ego like a woman listens to their emotions more. But it's the same thing, but it's like two different degrees. One's hot and one's cold. One's left and one's right. It's the same thing. You're going the same direction, not same direction, but same action, but it's just going in opposing directions. I don't know what the fuck I even said right there, but hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. Like the ego, if it's making you too irrational, you're not becoming more masculine. You're actually becoming what people can say in the sphere of toxic masculinity. You're overdosing on the masculine trait, and that is not a good thing, because it's just going to make you stupid. It's going to make you a weirdo. It's going to make you egotistical. No one wants to be around an egotistical person. No one wants to be around a weirdo. No one wants to be around someone that's talking about, oh bro, like you don't retain your seed, oh blah, blah, blah. Like subconsciously, even if you're doing that to people, look at people as a reflection of yourself. They might not be on the path. They might never get on the path. Does that make them a bad person? No. Does that want to be the person that you want to hang out with all the time? Maybe not, and I don't blame you. But it doesn't make you able to just think that you're better, or I'm this, I'm that, like they're lower than me, I'm retaining my seed, everybody's lower energy, I have a high vibration, like all this nonsense that you also see connected to New Age spirituality. Another point I want to make, when I said be careful who you listen to, if you listen to me, you know about how I think New Age spirituality is a detriment to people's spiritual development. Yes, it's a good thing in a sense where people are getting out of the general self-improvement sphere to actually getting into more spirituality, because like I've said before, self-improvement is just a foundation. You got to elevate, you got to graduate to the next steps, and that brings in the spirituality, philosophy, stuff like that. But you can go to the fast food version of that. which is New Age spirituality. And if you are into New Age spirituality, you notice that you'll see this whole egotistical concept, which I will talk about on this channel, how having a spiritual ego is a real thing. You'll see the egotistical nonsense that comes with that, becoming a chosen one, becoming the elect, becoming this, becoming that. That's bullshit, and it's just more ego and more labels put on yourself that doesn't mean anything. You're just making it up to make yourself feel better because you have an insecurity deep down that you need to deal with. Same thing comes with semen retention, because those types of people on New Age spirituality usually are the ones that talk about semen retention in the egotistical way. So be careful, be aware. I'm not naming names. I don't want to say I'm better than anyone. I don't want to say to not watch them. Just be careful, because you can fall into the influence of people really easily. You might be falling into the influence of me really easily. Maybe you like my videos, maybe you like my style, maybe you like the things I talk about. But I'm telling you right now, I am not no role model. I am not no person you should look up to. I'm just a guy on this path that's giving you guys education, entertainment, and enlightenment to help you guys elevate mentally, physically, and spiritually. You might take some of my information and plug it into your life and it might work. You might think I'm stupid with some other things and not plug it in. That's what life is about. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. Don't put yourself in positions where you get so influenced, and don't put yourself in a position where your ego takes over control, because this practice is not about the ego. It is about the eternal self and becoming the best version of yourself. Because I'm out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games, and I'm out here. Peace.